So
I
there you
like
go.
that. That's a good one. Okay, so
Okay.
I have...
You always seem surprised when I give this thought. Hey there, hi there, ho there, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Better Merch, Better Marketing podcast. As always, I am half of the host. I'm Kirby. That's me. Hey, and joining me this week, as always, is our branding bestie, Jade Kreider. I try to mix up the intro. I shouldn't.
keep
I
it
should just say
exciting.
the same stuff every
Just-
time.
yeah.
So, yeah, Jade, how are you? You talk for a
Hi.
while.
I'm really good. I'm having a good day. I'm getting to be creative, which is my favorite part of my job. So I'm enjoying it. But how are you?
You know what? I'm doing well. I'm actually, so as we record this, we're heading, getting ready to finish the second quarter, which means we're heading into the third quarter, which means this is the time that I start to think through goals and kind of vision casting what the next quarter and the rest of the year looks like. And I really enjoy that process because it kind of makes me go, okay, what do I want to be working on? So that puts me in a good mood. So yeah, and then let's face it, talking to you always puts me in a good mood. So
Duh.
right?
Yeah.
All right.
Duh.
Hey, so if you are just listening in for the first time, this is the Better Merch, Better Marketing podcast. It's brought to you by Hasseman Marketing. Our goal is to help you elevate your merch and elevate your marketing. And you can learn more about us at HassemanMarketing.com. We've got tools for you, the Target Marketing Playbook, the Target Hiring Playbook. If you're looking to attract talent, check us out, HassemanMarketing.com. So, as we talk about on a regular basis, Jade is the one who drives the bus with the topics. But today I actually reached out to her based on a newsletter I read this morning with a topic that I thought, ooh, this might be one that we could discuss. So it's a topic that actually I saw it on the Morning Brew email, which I talk about. It was actually trending on LinkedIn as well. So today, and it's the Infinite Workday. So it's a term that Microsoft kind of coined. And I just thought this was fascinating because this came from Microsoft 365 products. And it says in the newsletter, it says, brace for soul crushing numbers. Okay. So early mornings. And by the way, the total irony that was not lost on me is that I was emailing Jade about this at 6:13 a.m., which is 4:13 a.m. her time. So whatever.
Even
so
more ironic that you were sending it after I had emailed you at like 10 o'clock at night. So it feels right. Anyways.
Is midnight.
Yeah.
So anyway, Microsoft used telemetry to determine that 40% of people online at 6 a.m. are checking work email. Meanwhile, Teams becomes the primary connection platform within Microsoft by 8 a.m. By 8 a.m., people are on Microsoft Teams, with workers receiving an average of 153 messages per weekday. Okay? Midday, half the meetings take place between 9 and 11 and 1 and 3, right when people are at their most productive, right? Okay. And 57% of meetings occur without a calendar invite. 1 in 10 are booked at the last minute. Final thing, and then I'll throw this out here. Meetings after 8 p.m. are up over 16% over last year, right? And the average employee sends or receives more than 50 emails outside of regular business hours, and 20% of employees check work email before noon on weekends. So the Infinite Workday, sort of the concept behind this is that people are always working, and it's the good. We talk about I enjoy working from home when I want to. You enjoy working from home, right? But there's good and there's bad. So when I say all of that to you, I know I did, but I wanted you to have the full context of it.
Yeah.
What does that say to you? What are your takeaways?
I have a couple takeaways. So my first one is that I've literally spoken on stage about work-life boundaries, which is ironic because I'm not the best at them. Just not
all of us struggle.
Over.
Yeah.
But so it's one of those where I'm pro work-life boundaries. So like the idea of getting on a Zoom call at 8 p.m. No. That's the most appropriate way. I know how to say no. I about said an inappropriate word, but
Yeah.
I'm not getting on at 8 p.m. However, am I going to send an email at 8 p.m.? It depends on the work week.
Love
Like
that
for
distinction.
example, this week in particular, I have a big project that I'm working on that I'm excited about. Frankly, more than anything, I'm enjoying doing it. And
Yeah.
so last night I worked until 10 p.m. Today I will be ending my day at 2 p.m. I will not be going super early. And so I think it's just, again, it's boundaries are important. But I also remember when I spoke on stage, I spoke with Bill Petrie, who is Dad's buddy in the industry.
Yep.
And one of the things he said was that he won't even send an email after hours. He has it scheduled for the next morning. And I remember thinking that was stupid. That, love you, Bill. But I was always like, I don't care if I get an email, because whether I have my phone on do not disturb, that's up to me. That's not up to you. You can't
Yep.
control that. So if you're working late, it shouldn't affect your day, kind of thing. And these are all things that are coming to my brain. Just because I'm working late that night, I'm going to send it while I'm thinking about it and while I'm working hard on it, so that you have it as soon as you're ready for it the next day. Not
Yeah.
that things get held up because I'm trying to be considerate of your time. I think it's very interesting, though, that the idea that there's calls going on after hours. I would never in a million years ask somebody to get on a call after hours. And if you ask me, I'm going to say no, because that's
Yeah.
my work-life boundary.
Yeah. So I think it's interesting, right? Like I like your analogy of emails. And by the way, kudos to Bill for being so thoughtful that
He's
even if
so
he's
sweet.
crafting an email, he's scheduling it so that it doesn't interrupt. I think that's really nice.
It's so
But
sweet. I'm not doing it.
I think part of that is I want sometimes to send a message when it is on my mind or it's going to go away. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes this is even more important. It is most fresh on my mind. So I'm going to be the best at communicating it while it's there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have established very clear boundaries here at our office, and you can speak to this, that I have absolutely zero expectation of
Why?
um, of my team looking at it. As a matter of fact, we have our youngest team member, Mac. He checks he does it on his phone or his
Mm-hmm.
watch or whatever. And we like yell at him. We're like, stop doing that. Like, we do not expect you to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I agree with that distinction. I think that emails outside of work hours, we're across time zones. Like, that's the thing that
Right.
you didn't point out, right? You said,
Yeah,
I'm going to be
that's
done
a
by
good
2
point.
p.m. Yeah, that's 4 p.m. our time. You like,
Right.
we're all working across different things. And so if we have a supplier in California and we're in Ohio and they're like, well, they're out of the office at 2 p.m. my time, I'm not going to email them. Absolutely not. Like,
Right.
that's silliness, right?
Uh-huh.
And so to me, you have to take some responsibility for your own
Mm-hmm.
boundaries. And I like that. So your point there. Number two, man, I love what you say about sometimes I want to work. Sometimes I'm
Right.
passionate about
Sometimes
a
I'm enjoying
project.
it. Yeah.
You get that choice. And I think that the thing I would say, everything is about the culture that you're working within. 99.9, that's too high. 95% of the time, I agree with you. I don't want to take a meeting at 8 o'clock. Have I taken meetings at 8 o'clock? Absolutely. But I choose, because
Right.
in that moment, yes,
Mm-hmm.
this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's really that urgent, but probably higher than 95% of the time, it's like 8 a.m. We can talk about it 8 a.m.
Yeah.
So there's a
Sorry.
bunch of ways around it. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was part of the reason I pointed out what Bill said was because I thought it was so interesting. So we were on a panel. I was the Gen X. We had a millennial, and then we had Bill, who was Gen. I just said it backwards. I was Gen Z. Bill was Gen X.
Yeah.
Gen whatever. But so I thought it was very interesting because I think when we got on stage, everyone was prepared for me to be like, screw that, I have the work-life boundaries. And Bill was the one who actually then pushed it even further and was like, no,
Yeah.
I don't email people outside of. And I remember being like, holy cow, that's even farther than I take it. Like,
Yeah.
I immediately was like, yeah, I'm probably not doing that. But I was just like, okay, see, it's not a generational thing. It's a person-to-person thing of respecting. That's Bill's way of showing. I keep referring to
Respect,
him, but
yeah.
that's someone's way of showing respect. Whereas my way of showing respect is not expecting a response from you. Like,
Yeah.
I'll send it, but I just don't expect a response from you. So I just think it's an interesting.
Yeah, and I kind of figured that would be, we know each other very well, so I had a feeling that would be your take. I'll take it one step further. The other thing that I hear about this, and again, I'm gonna say it again.
Mhm.
Half the meetings take place between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. and 1 and 3 p.m., right when people are at their most productive due to circadian rhythms. Busy's not the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Productive is the goal. I talk a lot about that. Busy is probably my
point.
least favorite word in the English
Mm-hmm.
language. And the reason is because people use it for everything. How are the kids? Busy. How's Maverick? Busy. How's life? How's work? How's this? Busy. And if you don't believe me, try to stop saying it. Like, and that's, to me, that actually speaks more to the challenge with work getting done than the technology, the interruptions. It's like we believe that those meetings are what's making us productive. Often it's the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we need to schedule. If you're going to create boundaries, schedule time to do the actual deep work. Why did you enjoy working late last night?
Because I had no interruptions and I could just crank through and do my project that I was excited about.
Now, obviously, it was because you were excited about the project, right?
Yeah, that's a large part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. But you were willing to do it that way because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm excited to work on this. And I can do it when there's no emails, no phone calls, no whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that we're not allowing for any time like that during the workday.
It's a great point. Especially as many of you know, if you're new listening, I'm moving. We're closing on a new house. I have been reached out to so many times while I'm trying to do deep work today, and they're like, it's urgent. And I'm like, is it though? Because I have a meeting in an hour.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Is it? But I also think it's interesting. Lost my train of thought. Continue.
Well, I think that what really you're thinking about is that you may have the most bubble wrap in the shot that I've seen in a long time. That is really...
can you see it? It's cropped on my screen. That's
what you were saying you're moving. You were moving.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing that I'm like, man, this is a topic. When I saw this morning, I was like, Infinite Workday. I knew exactly kind of where it was going. And I think sometimes it's the technology. Sometimes it's we're not setting boundaries. But sometimes it's like we're not valuing the right type of work. So anyway.
Well, and it's funny. Sometimes I do. It's like we said, I get my best work done at night sometimes because sometimes I like to turn the TV on and watch a Hallmark movie while I work. It just depends on the day.
Well, yeah. I mean, you do not need to put any brain cells toward that.
Exactly.
So, you're right. Yep.
Anyways. So we are back onto topics that I created now.
Yeah.
It's way more fun for me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Our next one, we're going to kind of roll a two-parter into this one. It'll be quick. We won't make it out too long, but I'm thinking we can talk items that aren't trending that should be trending and items that are trending that should not be trending. And these might be a little bit controversial. My one that should not be trending is maybe controversial, but that's not the point.
We'll find out about it.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll give you you want to go back and forth, or how do you want to do this?
I only did one. So
okay. All right. So I'll just run through a few and then you can give me your feedback. So I'll say things that maybe I think should be trending. And literally I made these up with my notes. So we'll see if they make any sense at all. So number one, anything MagSafe, I feel like should be trending. I don't know if it is trending. I think it is a little bit, but
it's
I think
on the uprise.
Yeah, it is. So you think functional, you think attached to someone's phone. Guys, there is just nothing more valuable from a marketing perspective than space on your customer, your prospect's phone. So a MagSafe item is something that connects. It could be like pop socket with a MagSafe. It could be a wallet, could be whatever. I think those are really cool. And so I think that they're trending a little bit, but that's one of those things I think should be more.
Could build on.
Number two, items with a give back component. So like, I think that more and more suppliers in our industry are partnering with nonprofits and organizations like that. So one that pops into my head is Snugs, and they partner with Wounded Warrior. So if you buy the Base Camp tumbler, then a portion of the proceeds goes to that, and they write a big check every year. I think there's a lot of those. I think those should be trending more, right? Because if you have the choice, just do that, right?
Give back. Yeah.
The other one, and I don't think it's controversial, but I think it's interesting. This is something I'm noticing. I think journals, printed like planner calendars, anything print related. And I'm saying this because the Gen Zs that are I see working with me are writing things down more and more. Like I'm literally emailing them, they're printing them off. I'm so like right. I'm fascinated by it, and
You're not wrong.
I don't think people are seeing that yet. And I'm
That's a
every time
good one.
I walk out of my office, I'm like, Mac writes everything down. I can't get him to not. You
Mm-hmm.
write everything down.
I
Breyer
do.
doesn't, but he doesn't write it digitally either. So
You just came for Briar. Now he has to listen to this episode just so you know you roasted him. Poor Briar. You're not
but
wrong though. You're on to something because the one that I was thinking about that I kind of wish we had. It's a custom thing, so we have it in the industry. It's just that I can't like find it and screenshot it right away. Is like the custom journals. The one that I have actually in front of me, they did a couple custom pages inside of it for an event that we went to, which I thought was really cool. But like the guided stuff, because I was looking for something too. Of course, I was talking with ChatGPT of like my production stuff, and it was like make a list and then go through and what are your priorities. And I wish I had a journal because I don't want a Canva link. I literally was like, can I print it off? Yeah. So that's actually a really great, like, I'm like, you're onto something here.
And I'm seeing it with Gen Z the most.
Interesting.
So there you go. Yeah. So
did you do any that are that are trending that should not be?
Yeah, if I could read my handwriting.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
I got
how
one.
It works with Kirby. He can't read his own handwriting.
I got it. It took me a second. I just had to decipher. Actually, really, it's just simple. People want to do inexpensive items, and I respect that because you got to stick with budget. But stress balls are something that they're not terribly functional, and they're poison for the environment. Like I'm not the biggest. Louder. I'm not the biggest guy who's preaching sustainability. They're just bad for the environment. Now, that being said, I think that's driven by end users. And so the people who are buying them want to give them away. And that's a choice. I just don't think they should be a trending item.
Mm-hmm. So I like that. That's a good one. Okay, so I have...
You always seem surprised when I give this thought.
I like it when you have stuff that I agree with. It's fun. So I did items that are trending that should not be, that I said might be controversial, I guess. The phone lanyards. So where it clips into the back of your phone case and then your phone is on like a leash, essentially. I think it's the dumbest. They are trending. There is an uprising and people like them. I think that as a Gen Z, if you hand me that, I'm throwing it in the trash.
Yeah. Gen X, I'm with you on that one. That just sounds like a choke hazard.
I think they're dumb. And people are like, for events and this and this, I'm like, put it in your pocket. I don't.
Yeah.
Get a purse.
I appreciate you saying this. I appreciate you saying this because this is the kind of item that for a long time, I'm a function person, right? And let's make fun of me for a second. For years, for years, I had the phone holster. Yeah, everybody did.
Hated it.
People my age were like, dude, you got to stop. And I was like, but I always know where it is. And I finally have graduated away from the phone holster, right? And so I say this to say, the reason I liked it is because it was functional for me. Like, that's what I liked about it.
Right.
That feels like one of those things where you'd be like, oh, Kirby might like this. Oh, that sounds terrible. I feel like it would choke you. I just, no thank you.
Well, and I don't even, and again, maybe this is a personal thing. I don't even have a keychain on my keys. Like, it's literally my car key and my house key. That's all that's on my keys. That's it. Yeah. There's nothing else extra. If I have other keys, they're on a separate key ring. So, like, I'm not a big key person. I also don't leave the house. So, clearly, I'm not in the target market.
Yeah, we gotta work on that in the new location.
Yeah, then we can. But my items that aren't trending that I think should be, my first thing was cutting boards. And I don't mean, like, the crappy cutting boards, but like I've been doing some shopping for year-end gifting and there are some really nice cutting boards. I got a sample of one and my husband is like, those are so nice, like we can never get rid of those. I'm like, we won't, because they'll never break and they're really nice. Like that's and it's imprinted. It's an imprint of a company that I don't know who it is because it's a random sample, but like We get it out
Yeah.
and we use it every single day. It's our favorite cutting board. And then the other one that I wrote down is
Okay.
the whatever you keep hitting is very loud. Fair warning.
Sorry.
The candles I think are just a fun thing that you could do, whether it's a housewarming gift. I said it for realtors, so like hitting the when you sell a house, you could light the candle, things like that. I thought it was kind of a fun, clever way to do it. But the candles I think are really fun, and I feel like people always like candles because then you can have the house smelling good. So those were my two.
That's really good. That's really good. I think maybe I'm on the wrong mic. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, that might be it.
It's kind of too late.
Yeah. Our next topic is going to be so why you should consider hosting a golf outing.
Right.
It's kind of it's seasonal. It can be a quick one. We have a couple people that host golf outings, and I just think they're a really smart way to do it. And so I thought it was something that we could chat about for a minute.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's top of mind, right? So one of our clients, Shriver's Pharmacy, Shriver's Hospice. I think technically it's Shriver's Hospice that does the golf outing because it's a fundraiser, and they do it right. And it's fascinating to me, and this was not part of my notes. This is just an observation, how quickly they've only been doing it for a few years. But it has quickly become one of the quintessential golf outings in the area because they've just done it right? Like they've made it an experience, and they promote it. So it can be a really interesting way to be a brand building and all that sort of thing. So how do you want to handle this one? You want to go back and forth about why, or how do you want to do this one?
Let's go back and forth. I made some bullet points.
Okay. You want to go first, or you want me to?
Yeah, I will. So my first one is kind of an obvious one, but it's going to be a really good kind of bonding experience if you have your employees going. It's an obvious one. And then to kind of double up on that one, it's going to boost morale because it's a day out of the office. It's a day to hang out with your coworkers. And again, sometimes when you sit in a golf cart with someone, you might learn something that you didn't know. And then suddenly you have something in common and have a better friendship at work. So that was my first 100%. Obvious one.
I love that because it's one of the things I say about service projects. Right? When you're out of the office doing something different, I think you do build a different relationship. So that's a good one. I mean, obviously you can raise money. I mean, I think that's the reason most nonprofits run golf outings, is they have the ability to not only raise money, but also I think the side note to that is to give people an opportunity to feel like they're contributing, right?
Yes.
Rather than, hey, I'm just writing you another check. This is I can have some fun and be a part of it. And then there'll be a 50-50, and maybe you have some beverages and you get a little loose, a little loosey-goosey. And
with your wallet.
Yeah, with your wallet. And so, raise some money. But my next one is to say thank you to your customers and vendors.
Dang it, you stole mine. I'm just kidding.
Oh. Well, go ahead. You want to say that?
No, you go.
Because you had said something about employees and building morale. So that's what sort of led me to because I will say, so Coshocton Lumber is another client, and they've done this, and they do a great job of it's an ongoing thing. So it allows you to build that with those relationships even further.
Yeah. So to double up on yours, then I put good way to thank clients and networking in a fun way. So it's a way for all your clients to meet each other, for you to say thank you in person and or ask for money in a way that doesn't feel like, thank you so much. Hey, please write me a check. It's very, again, it's loosey-goosey. It's very, we went to the one for Shriver's last year. It was the first one I've actually ever been to. And it was so it was fun. And the team all matched. Their whole team was wearing cute matching golf outfits. And I thought it was so fun. And they did it in a way that I was just oh yeah, this is genius. Why are more people not doing this?
Yeah. And I tell you, there was music play. We've talked about how to incorporate and make an event fun. The same things, if you have never go back and listen to us talking about events, because the same things hold true, right? They had DJ playing music, and so it was fun around the course. They'd created a whole experience. The other thing they did, which I think was cool, is they partnered with community partners or sponsors to create experiences around the course. So we actually partner on that one where we do a hit it to win it event. We're going to be doing that next week. But they brought in a professional long drive guy, and you could pay extra to have him. They had a gun where you could shoot the golf ball
Oh, I
out.
missed that.
Yeah. I mean, again, you could pay to have this, and then it was
To
an
do the fun
experience, and it was
experiences.
fun. And
That's
so,
genius.
yeah, but creating an experience around it really makes it. That's what I think the best do.
I like that. The final thing I wrote down was just you don't have to be good to play. I
Yeah.
suck at golf. I'm horrible at it. And I still have fun every time my husband's like, come on, we're going golfing. Because I get to ride in the cart and look cute and get some sun and swing and miss and have fun. Like, it's still fun for me, even though I suck at golf. So I think it's just a fun one. Again, it goes back to boost employee morale or client morale or whatever. But it's just a fun one that everyone can participate. You don't have to be a good bowler or any good golfer or anything like that to do it.
Yeah. And I think my final point, I mean, if you're a great bowler, you will have a great time at a golf outing. But it can really, I think, create a lasting emotion around your brand, which I think is great events do. So
yeah,
I like it. I like it.
That's a good one. That was a good one.
All right.
Cool.
What's next?
Next up, as always, is the product of the podcast. You like that I sang it that time? I think that added something.
I hope so.
Today, this one feels very seasonal and kind of right on time. Frankly, we got it out. We had it packed, and we actually got it back out because we like to have towels out, frankly, when we're doing all kinds of stuff like this. It's going to be the Sublimated Quick Dry Sand-Proof Beach Towel. This one is really cool. It's fully sublimated, so you have the entire towel to put an imprint, put a fun pattern. You can make it match a theme of a box, anything like that. And more importantly, the sand does not stick to the towel. And if you're going to the beach, you know that that's a game changer. Or if you're having a picnic, then suddenly the dirt doesn't stick to the towel. There's so many perks to that. I think it's a really good one. With only 12-piece minimum, this makes for a really, really fun, something different that people forget about sometimes.
Well, and I tell you, this is a great one, Jade. And as you know, your mother and I went to Hilton Head last week, and we wanted to take towels, but we're like, oh, we've only got so much room in our luggage. So we actually took, I think, 3 of these. They fold down really small because they're small, which is great. So we were able to pack them and fit them because we took one suitcase for both of us because we're cheap. And but it did all the stuff we needed it to do, full color. So yeah, I think that's a really good one.
These are a really fun one.
And then finally, to close out the podcast, we do a shout out every week. And as we always say, if you have somebody you think we should shout out, please let us know. Put it in the comments, message us. We are looking to push out good into the world, and you can help us do that, whether it's in the region, it's nationwide, doesn't matter. I love this one because it involves a couple of organizations we know and love. So I actually saw this on LinkedIn. This was one that I was literally scrolling. I was like, ooh. So People's Bank is the bank, one of the banks we use, and they are a customer of ours as well. They have a foundation that they do a lot of donations to our community. And I saw that they were writing a check to Genesis Healthcare, which is another client. Cool. And the gift to Genesis Foundation is for the Genesis Hospice Capital Campaign. The Capital Campaign is raising funds for the replacement of the hospice inpatient Morrison House facility in Muskingum County. So to me, I love it when I see organizations that are doing well create a foundation, and then they have the ability to give funds to where they see fit. And honestly, I have not. The timing has just been weird. So I've never given a shout out to People's before. They're doing this in communities all over, and man, it's cool. And so shout out. Thank you. Cool. Appreciate it. Yeah. So cool.
I love it.
All right. So we covered a lot of ground today. I hope, Jade, as you play with the bubble wrap and get packed and get ready, that you set boundaries and don't take meetings outside of 8 p.m. and all that sort of thing. And we touched on this. We touched on this last week. And so as we wrap up, I do want to mention, we're going to have the podcast drop today. And then as I'm looking at the calendar over here, we're going to have one more. And then we are actually going to take July as, consider this season 1 of Better Merch, Better Marketing. I like it. Yeah, right. And so season 2 will begin in August. So July, we will be taking off with her moving and, things going on here. We've just decided that this would be a good time for us to take a break, restock. And man, if you have any comments about things we could do better, be nice, but let us know. Let us know how we can improve for season 2. So yeah, that's going to wrap up this edition of the Better Merch, Better Marketing podcast. If you want to learn more about us, please head over to hassemanmarketing.com. We've got the Target Marketing Playbook, the Target Hiring Playbook. Try to create tools, and then honestly, content galore. Go to our blog page. We've got blogs, we've got podcasts, we've got Thirsty Thursdays coming up. We got all kinds of good stuff, and we got cool reasons to go to the site. Jade, thanks so much.
Love you.
See you next
bye.
time.